series, we're exploring each critical step on the journey to net zero. Today, we're starting with the foundations, understanding your emissions. A strong carbon foundation begins with accurately calculating your emissions across three main scopes. For infrastructure and transport organizations, this includes Scope 1 emissions, which are direct emissions from fuel used in your fleet vehicles, heavy machinery, and equipment. Scope 2 are indirect emissions from purchased energy, such as electricity. Scope 3 are other indirect emissions across your value chain, including emissions from raw materials, supply chains, and outsourced services. Now let's look at the current and projected impact of transport on Australia's overall emissions. As of 2023, transport accounts for around 21% of national emissions, but by 2030 this figure is expected to increase to 26%, making transport the largest emission source in the country. While the electricity grid is expected to decarbonise as more renewable energy sources come online, transport emissions are projected to rise. Population growth, increased demand for goods, and our vast distances across Australia mean that without significant interventions, transport emissions will continue to increase. Understanding where your emissions come from across scopes 1, 2, and 3 is the foundation of any effective net zero strategy. With accurate emissions data, you can focus on the areas with the most significant reduction potential, guiding your resources effectively and measuring progress over time. Building this carbon foundation isn't just about meeting regulatory requirements. It's the first step in creating a meaningful, impactful net zero plan. With a clear picture of your emissions, you're equipped to prioritize actions, reduce costs, and meet the expectations of stakeholders, investors, and the public. On the topic of regulatory requirements, if you'd like a deeper understanding of AASB S2 and the Australian Sustainability Reporting Standards, scan this QR code to access our complimentary course and learn the essentials. Stay tuned as we continue our journey through the steps of building your net zero strategy. In our next video, we'll explore climate risks and opportunities. For more insights, visit the blog and let's keep building your strategy together.